Welcome back, this is my weekly recap. Every session, every trade, everything I learned. Let's get into it. We opened below previous day's value, VWAP sloping lower but price sitting above it. Bearish lean, but I needed to see a break below VWAP before considering a short. I had a clear target at the 74.70s, but we had liquidity above we needed to clear first. I came in focused on one thing, no FOMO, wait for my expectations to play out. Price started trading lower without clearing above, so I stayed out. Eventually the liquidity cleared. We traded into previous day's value, but now the short didn't align anymore. Price was above VWAP, so I flipped, waited for price to retake value, and got long towards the 50s. It hit. Clean day. The patience I struggled with last week paid off on Monday. No forcing, no FOMO, just waiting for the conditions to line up. Tuesday, opened inside value. VWAP sloping lower. If we lost the value low, the 60s were in play. We eventually lost it, but I needed a retracement before joining as we were too extended to chase. Retraced back the value and waited to see it hold. First short from the VWAP band to the 80s. Went into drawdown quickly. I should have been more patient. Try to get a rejection of the 74.8s instead of rushing in. I stayed disciplined. Didn't mismanage the trade. Tried to disconnect from the challenge. It stopped me out. Second trade. Price started filling at the top. Took the short with momentum towards the 73.80s. Looked good briefly, then retraced nearly to my stop. I bailed out for a small loss, but it still stung because I'd given back everything from Monday. Giving back a good day in a single session is a specific kind of pain. I closed the charts and walked away. Wednesday. We were above value, VWAP sloping higher, so I'm leaning bullish. Looking for longs from the 80s or if we break above the 74.10s. I would only consider shorts if we lose value. My target would be the 74.25s. The liquidity at the 20s got removed, so I didn't chase the move higher despite the breakout. At the open we traded below VWAP briefly, but I stayed bullish. Took my first long to the 74.10s, it hit for a huge win. Wednesday was a mirror image of Tuesday. Same focus, same discipline, completely different result. That's the variance in this game. You can do everything right 2 days in a row and get opposite outcomes. The job is to keep doing it right. Thursday, we opened inside value. VWAP flat, so no real direction. I wanted to see what the market did at the edges of value before committing. The open came in below value. I watched for a short below the 74.10s, towards the 73.95s. We were heavy sell side, but no real follow through. Price eventually started trading higher, so I was glad I didn't short. I shifted to looking for a long above 74.35s, got long towards the 74.50s. It failed. Reloaded on a retest, now wanting to abandon the idea. That also failed. 2 losses on a day. I like both setups, so I'm not really mad. They just didn't work. 2 clean entries, wrong outcome, so I moved on. Friday, we opened inside value. VWAP sloping lower. Neutral conditions. Bullish scenario above VWAP, targeting the 7500s. Bearish below the 74.70s. First trade long off VWAP to the 7500s. Didn't work out. Then, price smashed through VWAP and I was on the sidelines watching. Still like the long idea, so I waited for a retracement back to VWAP, got long again, targeting 75.20s. Didn't work out. I reloaded the third time. Same idea, same level, same conviction. Third loss. 3 losses on Friday. Same trade, 3 times. I want to be honest about this. There's a version of this where I'm being stubborn instead of disciplined. The line between them isn't always clear. The setups made sense, but the market disagreed. At some point though, 2 losses on the same idea in a session is probably the signal to walk away. That's something I'm trying to take into next week. The lesson isn't about the trade idea on Friday. That was sound. It's about knowing when the market is telling you it's not your day. 2 losses on the same setup in the same session should probably be a hard stop. Not because the idea is wrong, but because sometimes the market isn't ready to give you what you're looking for. And forcing in a third time is no longer discipline, it's stubbornness. That's the week. Funded account still running, but probably not for long. See you next week.